Hi, my name is Fido Macis, and I'll be talking about on how to build a PC. As most of you probably buy your computers already built, have you thought about building your own PC with better parts for less of a price? Usually, when you're looking to buy a computer, you most likely look into Apple or even Dell computers. But I would tell you building your own computer will be a lot more affordable. You can save hundreds of dollars by building and selecting your parts yourself. Now, first, I would like to talk about how to budget when looking to buy a PC. How much you're willing to spend is one of the most important questions. Budgeting is the most important part into building a computer because without a budget, you can't get the best bang for your buck. Knowing how much you're willing to spend on a computer helps decide what parts are needed and what parts are not needed. There's a significant difference between building a computer that costs $500 or even $1,000 because the more you spend, the better performance you will receive. Next question is, what is the main purpose for your computer? Some people might use this computer for work or even school, so you don't need to spend a truckload of money if that's the case. Some people use their computers to have the best performance for everyday use. Now try and figure out what you want to use this computer for. Some people might use it for gaming or video editing. Some people might use this computer for casual browsing, and this will show you what parts are needed and not needed. Now that you are informed about budgeting, I will talk about the parts that are used inside the computer and briefly talk about the needs of gaming and video editing. What parts are needed to build a PC? Well, the most important part will be the tower, which is the metal box casing that holds every single computer component inside one single unit. First part will be the motherboard, which controls all the parts of the computer. Next will be the CPU, which stands for the computer processing unit, which sends signals to other parts of the computer. Next will be the CPU cooler. The CPU cooler is this object that sits on top of the CPU to help it cool it down and not overheat. Next will be the GPU, which stands for graphics processing unit that helps process video and graphic memory. PCU is a power supply, which gives you power to the whole entire computer, and it has cables running from the PCU itself to the other parts of the computer. Next would be the RAM. The RAM stands for random access memory, and it's a part that stores memory and process graphic memory as well, and it sits on the motherboard. Next will be storage. You can either have hard drives or SSDs. Hard drives are not as fast as SSDs, so SSD is a more secure storage device you can have on a computer. Next would be the monitors, which displays what your computer is processing, and then a mouse and a keyboard. And all of these parts are needed to have a working computer. Now let's talk about gaming. Building your very own PC is well known in the gaming world. Most gamers are building their PC to have the best parts and have the best results. I would say that an cheap affordable gaming PC may range from $700 to $1,500. I would say that's like the low end gaming computer, I would say. And the most expensive parts of a gaming or any other PC would be the GPU, CPU, and the RAM. It's very expensive, but it's not only used for gaming. It can be used for work and school as well. Video editing. Building a fast computer is it's very important. If you are a video editor, you need a fast CPU and a lot of gigabytes of RAM and to process video and rendering. So yeah, you need a really fast CPU and RAM. So now that you know about budgeting and the performance parts of a PC, I would like to tell you how to build a PC from a step-by-step process. So step one, before putting anything inside the tower or the case, place the CPU, the CPU cooler, and the RAM on the motherboard before putting it inside the PC. This makes it easier to install the motherboard inside the PC because there's not a lot of space to work with when you're installing parts on a PC. So this is probably the best way to build a PC. Step two, Put the motherboard and all the attached parts like the CPU, CPU cooler, and the RAM inside the tower, and the motherboard should come with screws that attach to the tower so it doesn't fall. Step 3 would to install the hard drives inside the case. Almost every single, I would say every single PC case will have places where you can put your storage device on. Some might have sliders where you just attach it, screw it on, and you can slide it back in. Some just stick on top or inside the wall of a PC. It's very interesting. But yeah, that would be the next step. Step 4 would be to install the GPU on the inside the motherboard. It clicks in, very easy process, not that difficult. Step 5, lastly, install the PCU, which is the power supply unit, inside the tower. It should be on the bottom part of a PC. That's where it usually is, and it will come with cables running through and ins out of a computer. Now let's talk about cable management. Cable management is very important in building a PC. Knowing where each cable goes inside the motherboard at different parts of the PC is very important, because if a problem ever shows up, you know where to look because you built the PC. And yeah. Now, since in the speech I've informed you how to budget on selecting parts of a PC, I've also informed on how to build a PC from the ground up. So if you'd like to know more information about computers and computer parts and how to build a computer, there's tons of videos online where you can look up how to build, what are the best parts for your type of computer that you want, like for work, school, gaming, video editing. Very easy. And then another place where you can look is a website called Logical Increments, where you can hover over these different types of parts, and it's categorized through how much parts are and what type of parts, like how I explained earlier, GPU, CPU, motherboard, etc., and it's very, very informative, and it's nice to look at. That's what I use to build my own PC. To the people that have never thought about building their very own PC, I would like to say to give it a try, because you never know how much fun it really is. Not only it's fun to know the ins and outs of a computer, but it's also cheaper and a lot more affordable to build your own PC. Thank you.